guys, it's Diana here, and today I'm going to be working on the men's tee, basic tee, and I really am excited about this one. This one's for my little, not so little brother, and I have never made anything for him. He's tall, he's skinny, he is really picky, so we'll see how this goes, and I'm excited. I really wanted to make him something, and so we'll see. Hopefully it'll turn out well, and I'll take some pictures of him and post them, but I think he's gonna be excited because I never ever sew for him, and he always wants me to, so I'm excited about that. I already cut out all my pieces, and I'm doing the color block option, so I'm going to do different in the top than the bottom. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and attach those pieces together first, and then I'll put my shirt together. So I've got my bodice, the bottom of my bodice, and I am going to put the top, and this is my back bodice, and so I'm going to put them right sides together, all the way at the top where that top seam is, that seam where they're going to meet. And I am going to put it right on top of that seam at the raw edges, right sides together once again. And I'm going to pin, and then I'm going to sew. Now, I am doing this to the back bodice, but I'm also going to do exactly the same thing to the front bodice of my shirt. So I'm going to go ahead and do that and serge right at the top of the line. And then I'm going to go ahead, after I do that, I will move on and do the same thing to the front. Now, when you're serging it, always remember, and I always give you the reminder, to go ahead and make sure you're sewing both sides of your, both fabrics, so you don't have a gap on your shirt, okay? So then, now that that is done, I'm going to open it up. Here's my back piece, my back panel. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to steam this seam down, and you can go ahead and top stitch that seam down if that's what you would like. You don't have to, that's up to you. It gives you a little bit more of a finished look, but it's really up to you. So here's my back bodice. I'm going to go ahead and top stitch that one and put together my bottom bodice the same way that I did this one. I mean my front bodice the same way I did this one, and then we'll move on to the next part. Alright guys, I have my front bodice put together, and I have my back bodice put together. So they're both put together now. I'm going to go ahead and put my sleeves together. That way they will all be together at the same time, and then I can just assemble my piece. So I'm doing exactly the same thing I did with my top, with my bodice to my sleeves, where I put my sleeve right side up, and I'm going to put my top of my sleeve right on there, facing down, so we'll have right sides together. And we're going to meet there at the raw edge and pin all the way through. So there's my one sleeve. I'm going to do the same thing to the other sleeve. Pin it. And you got to remember that it's right here where the armsicle is. That's where you're going to pin it. So don't pin it to the bottom of the sleeve. Pin it to the top of the sleeve. Here we are. So now I'm pinning the second sleeve together. Then I'm going to go ahead and serge those sleeves together, and if you want to go ahead and top stitch once that's serged together, you can go ahead and do that along the line. That way it has a little bit of more of a finished look. So let me go ahead and serge this one together, and I'll show you. And then if you don't have a serger, you can go ahead and use a zigzag stitch on your machine. But if you're writing your lists for things to buy, I recommend the serger. It changes your life, especially if you're sewing with knits. Okay, so here it is, my sleeve. This is one of my sleeves is put together, and this is what it looks like once it's put together. Okay, I'm going to steam it, and I will go ahead and top stitch along that edge just because I want it to have like a finished look. And then we'll move on to the next part of our project. Alright guys, my bodice is put together. My sleeves are put together and top stitched. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my whole shirt together. Now if you are not doing the color block option, this is where you would start at, because you already have all that stuff put together. So here's my bodice. I'm going to put it right side up. This is my back. And then I'm going to put my, that's my front. Now I'm going to put it back right on top of each other, right on top of it, right sides together. It doesn't matter which one is on top and which one is on bottom. They're just need to be facing each other, right sides together, and I'm gonna meet it at the shoulders. And I'm gonna do the same on the other side, meet at the shoulders. So we can go ahead and sew those shoulders up together. So I'm gonna go ahead and serge that shoulder on. And then I'll go ahead and do the other one, and there went my scissors, and then I'll be looking for them in a minute because I won't know where they are. I'll forget that they fell off the board. But I won't because I just talked about them. Here they are. Okay, so here's my, they're put together. My shoulders are put together. So next we're going to move on to putting the sleeves on. Like I said, if you had already, if you were not doing the color block option, this is where you would pick up. So I have my sleeve ready and I folded it in half. And now I marked where the middle piece is at the top. And that middle piece is going to go right at the shoulder seam. Right sides down. So we're going to face each other. So right sides facing each other. And now I'm going to go down to the bottom of the sleeve. Making sure that I meet where the seams are on the shirt. So here's my seam. I want to make sure that I meet those seams so that it's seamless. When I'm coming around with my sleeve, and I don't want to have different seams. So like I'm going to meet my seam right here, and then I'm going to pin the other parts. That way when I put my sleeve together, I don't want it to look all funky like my seams are not together, which they are. Okay, and then I'm going to go down. And then I'm going to go ahead and sew that sleeve on. At the raw edges, I'm just serging it on. Making sure that you're actually attaching both sides and not just one. I like to take it kind of slow on my sleeve because I want to make sure that I'm catching everything, especially when you're sewing certain fabrics that tend to roll a little bit. You want to make sure that you're catching it and it's not rolling on you, and make sure that you're not catching anything underneath. Sometimes they try to come up and that's not good. Okay, almost there, so make sure you're catching all of it all the way around. This one is one that really wants to roll. And my other fabric is trying to, my arm is trying to tuck up and get tucked under and get cut by my serging knife. And that would be drastic. Okay, so here's my sleeve on. Making sure I matched my edge, my sides, so it's a continuous. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same for the other side. I'm going to go ahead and put the sleeve on the other side, and we'll move on to sewing up the sides. Alright guys, now that both my sleeves are on, we're going to move on to sew up the sides. So we're going to match up where the seams are at the armsicle, the armpit right here, and then we'll go up to the top and match those up all the way to the top of the sleeve. And then we'll do the same going down. So we'll match up there, and then we'll go down and match down here. That way we have them straight all the way. Okay, and we'll do do the same on the other side. Match at the seam right here, and then up the sleeve and down the side. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and sew those sides together. And we are almost done with our shirt. How exciting is that? It really isn't a very hard top to do. And I love that you can customize it. The really great thing about sewing for yourself is the fact, like I said, my brother is really tall and skinny. So I can grade between sizes and make it even longer if I need to. Then the pattern asks to make it. I can do whatever color fabric I want to do. I am probably going to have him look through some fabric and get him some different type of fabrics that he likes and make him some for Christmas. And that's pretty cool because then he'll have a one of a kind. Nobody else is going to have the same design. So that's really cool. That's the really cool part about sewing for yourself. Okay, so we're almost done. I have my neckband right here, and so that's what we'll do next. You meet them right sides together, fold it in half, right sides together at the small edge, and I'm going to go ahead and serge that together to make it a continuous band. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and turn on my iron because it turns itself off after a while. I'm going to fold it over like a hot dog, wrong sides together. So I'll meet the edge, the serge, the seam, I mean, and then I'm going to fold all of it together and I'm going to steam it closed. Meeting the raw edges together. And the steaming kind of helps not to, so that it doesn't curl as much when I'm trying to sew it on. So I'm marking my quarter. So here's my seam, my side seams, and I folded it in half, and here's my front. And I'm going to do that again, meet the 2 pins that I marked, and pin, I do a little notch on the sides, and those are my quarters. I have little pieces of fabric everywhere. The reason why I do notches is because even though I do pin, sometimes the pins will move out of the way, they fall off. And then as I'm attaching the band, if the pin falls off, then I don't know where I'm going, and it's very frustrating. And to find the middle and front of my shirt, I meet the 2 side seams, and I go to the front and mark. And then I meet the shoulder seams, and I go to the back and mark, and that's my back. Then I meet my front and my back mark and go to the one side because the sleeve is not right at the middle, because obviously the back goes higher and the front goes lower. So you want to make sure you take the time to find the actual side. That way your band has a higher chance at working out. And so I go out to the other side and find my front, which is only like about ½ an inch away from the seams. But it is a little bit away, and it adds up on your band if you don't do that. So now I'm going to grab my band and right sides together. I'm going to attach it to those marks that I made. All my marks all the way around my shirt. Pin that band. And the last one. And then, and I got I'm on the outside of my shirt, right sides together, and I'm going to go ahead and serge. Now the way I serge my band is I always serge it face up. I want my band facing me because I want to see how much I'm taking off. Sometimes if you do it facing down, you can do it however you want to, but I can't see my band when I do it facing down, and I always end up eating more than I want, especially because the band rolls sometimes when you're pulling a little bit. You're just pulling gently. It's kind of hard to see. So I pull it gently and serve up to that pin, and then I go to the next one. And how I do it is I use my two fingers, these two fingers, and I grab it right here at the pin, and then I go up, and these two fingers move them all the way up and to like the middle of my band after I fix it to hold it close. So I grab them, I actually grab them with like these two fingers, and these two fingers I grab the band at the top higher part, so that I keep it together. That way I hold the fabric down with those two fingers, and then I guide it with my other hand. Ooh, I almost ate that pin. And my last one. And other than hemming, guys, our shirt is done. Okay, so here's my neckband, nice and straight. And I'm going to go ahead and steam that. Perfect. I'm always so scared with neckbands, but as long as I take my time, and like I said, as long as I face them up, they always turn out great. My shirt is basically done. Now all I need to do is go ahead and hem my shirt, and what we do is we do a 1/2 inch hem, and that's it. So I will fold 1/2 inch up, and I am really bad. I do not measure my hem unless I'm doing it, like I said, for somebody else. If I'm doing it for somebody else, like, then I will, but usually I just eyeball my hem. But anyway, I would pin it, and then I will go ahead and sew it, and that's it. My shirt is done. And I'm going to do the same to my sleeves. But how cute is that, and how quick was it? Such a cute, quick sew, and it's ready for me to give to my brother, and I hope he likes it. Please let me know if you have any questions, if you have any comments. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to our channel so you can see all our other sews. And once you make this, please post it on our Facebook page or our Instagram page. We'd love to see everything that you make. We love all your comments. We love all your likes. Thank you for loving us, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!